Hi, I'm Eric Friedman. I'm the Executive Director of the Mad River Valley Chamber of Commerce, and we are here for our next edition of Tailgate Talks, and we are here with Rachel Wylie.
Wiley Fenton.
Wiley Fenton, I'm sorry, I got to get this right. Who is, and what is your title here at vonTrapp Farmstead?
I wear many hats here. My short version is farm store manager, HR, and everything else.
All right, that's very impressive. Well, Rachel, thanks for joining me on the tailgate. What do you think of this thing?
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are a little freaked out by this, but like you seem like you're relatively relaxed.
Yeah.
So we're here at the farmstead at the store here, and this beautiful farm with this incredible view and everything that people love walking by and everything. Tell us a little bit about the history of the farm here.
Yeah, so in 1959, Sebastian vonTrapp, my boss, his grandfather purchased the property with his wife, Erica. Erica Oma, who the cheese is named after, she was the big force, really excited about agriculture and having a farm here. And so, they started their farm. They had 6 kids. Martin, Sebastian's father, and his wife Kelly took over. And then Sebastian and now his wife Molly have taken over the farm and the creamery. In 2000,
So this is the third generation now.
yes, third generation, and the fourth is going to help me at the farmers market a few times this summer. So
We do have child labor laws here.
I know don't worry, he's of working age, and he'll get paid.
Unbelievable. No, so there's a long history here, and it's funny, we're down at the Welcome Center, and I always send people up here because it's such a beautiful place to walk and drive around, and I'm like, oh, and while you're there, go check out vonTrapp Farmstead. And like, oh, we're staying there, and I'm like, no, I don't think you are, and they realize like, oh, there's vonTrapps here too.
Yeah,
A
we
little
get that a
different.
lot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, we have like the working class vonTrapps
Yes.
here, right?
Yeah, it's the dairy farming and cheese making vonTrapps.
Oh, we got to be careful. We got. It's that season. We have the trucks going by.
Yep.
Gee, I wonder what they have in there. No, it's not. No, it's not poop anymore.
No, well, it's probably they're fixing all the roads from the rains earlier this week.
Yeah, let's hope that's the end of
Yeah.
the end of that. So, you guys are most famous for the cheese here.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell us a little about the kinds of varieties of cheese that you have, because one of the things that I notice and that a lot of people don't realize, like, you don't make cheddar.
No, we don't. So all of the cheeses we make are cheeses that Molly and Sebastian love to eat, and they like those cheeses to be a certain way, and that's why we make the cheeses that we do. The very first cheese we ever made is Oma, named after Erica, Sebastian's grandma, and that's a wash-rind cheese. She's the funkiest of the bunch, but still very friendly. We have Mount Alice, named after that mountain right back there, and that's a camembert-style cheese, so similar to a brie, but even better. We also make Savage, which is aged for about a year. It's
And the
Alpine
Savages,
style.
that was a family. Did they live on this farm?
So Samuel S. Savage, he was the first deed holder for the farm.
Okay.
And we actually sold a gift box to one of his descendants once.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. They put a little gift note that like, this was our great whatever's property. So yeah, Savage is Alpine style cheese. The one hard cheese we make closest to a cheddar. If someone's like a diehard cheddar person, they'll probably like Savage too. And then we make Mad River Blue, named after this lovely river that we call home, this watershed.
That one over there.
It's way over there.
Yep.
And that is the friendliest blue cheese you'll ever meet. It has convinced multiple people who don't like blue cheese that not all blue cheese is bad and scary.
I am a blue cheese connoisseur. I love blue cheese, and it really is incredibly good.
Thank you. It's award-winning. The Mount Alice and Mad River Blue both won Super Golds in the World Cheese Awards last year, which is better than gold. So
Better. I didn't think you could do better than gold, but like.
yeah.
So yeah, it's funny. Like, there's all these like cheese award things, like, and you
Yeah.
guys are competing all the time.
Yeah, we picked some batches yesterday for a competition next month, and it's really fun for like cheesy people to get into these different competitions and stuff like that, and it's helpful for like both gauging like our own quality. Like we know what we like, what we make, and our customers like what we make. But as far as being compared to a lot of other cheeses of similar styles to what we're making, it's really cool to like have that additional external validation that we're doing a good job here.
Absolutely. And you said you selected, cheese to send. Is
Yeah.
there much of a variation between batches?
For our cheeses, not often. Larger cheese making operations will often like taste their batches and be like, this one's off target, we're just going to toss a whole batch or sell it as seconds. We rarely have to do that. We really put a lot of effort into making sure that every batch is really good quality and is consistent. I think the team here, because we're tasting every batch at like all different stages of aging, we're very sensitive to very subtle differences to it. But for the most part, like they're pretty consistent with the flavor profiles.
So are you involved yourself with the cheese making?
Kind of. I call myself a semi-professional amateur cheesemaking assistant because sometimes I pitch in to help with molding, which is like when they're filling all the molds with curds for the different cheeses. I just push the curds towards the drain for the cheesemaker to then fill them. So that's my involvement with cheesemaking, but I help with wrapping cheese, cutting and wrapping the retail pieces for the store, sales, distribution, marketing.
Yeah.
The fun videos that you see on Instagram of the cows are often
the cows are the stars of the show
They
here.
are.
Well,
They
the
really
chickens
are.
too, but
Yeah, especially though the cows. Like if we didn't have chickens, we would still have the business. If we didn't have our cows, we'd be out of luck.
so speaking of the business, you have the farm store. I know you do wholesale, and you also you sell to restaurants and things. What's the mix like? What is it? What's the major part of the business?
It's definitely our wholesale accounts. Until we had the farm store, like we only sold direct to customers through like farmers markets.
Right.
So when
you're at the Waitsfield farmers market.
We're at the Waitsfield farmers market. Yep, over by Cosmic Cotton by Gary. Find the tie dye, get your cheese. But yeah, in 2020 when they opened the farm store, like that was the first time that we were really selling directly to customers, where we had this very strong avenue along with our online e-commerce.
And that was during the pandemic, wasn't it?
It was very much a response to the pandemic because we had, the cows are still making milk, and so we still had to make cheese, and we still had to get it somewhere. But grocery stores, restaurants, all the people that our distributors supply our cheese to closed down. So we had to like pivot in a lot of ways, but it still continues today that our wholesale distribution is like the main source of our business, but we want to be able to sell more to our local customers and keep the cheese, keep it here in our community because it's so good.
Well, I mean, that was one of the highlights of the pandemic was being able to like come here and walk around and get, sitting right out here, and we got our big trucks going by. I couldn't get him to honk. It's like the little kid,
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not just the cheese here. You guys do whole milk. You do yogurt, which is really good.
It's so
that yogurt is outstanding. And it's a regenerative farm. So can you explain like what that is?
Yeah, so we're certified organic through the USDA and also through the Real Organic Project. The Real Organic Project we think of as like an add-on to USDA organic certification because
it's like super organic.
It's like super duper, because like the
well,
USDA.
Actually, for vonTrapp it would be Uber.
Yes, Uber again.
I should do that.
So with the USDA organic, there's no requirement that you are practicing farming in a way that is like nourishing the soil and like is treating animals in like the best possible way for their well-being overall. The Real Organic Project looks at like the health of your farming ecosystem from the soil up through the whole business. So when they came out here, they like wanted to learn about like our grazing, our fertilizing, which we use composted cow manure and ash, a mixture of that just all from the farm just goes back into the soil. And then really wondering, like, what are the cows' lives like? Are they on pasture? Do they have freedom of movement, like, all of the time, except when they're getting milked? And there's, like, a lot more emphasis on, like, are we tending to the land that is helping us have a business and to be sustained? Because we know that, and we believe that if we're not taking care of the land, then our business won't be able to survive.
Right.
And that, at the core, is, like, regenerative farming is, like, how are we keeping the, like, potential waste streams, like, for example, cow manure, in the system of our farm, and putting it back to use in a way that's going to nourish the whole system. Yeah.
So, and also, like, I know the pigs
Yes,
eat your whey.
they do.
right?
Yeah, all the way
And
from cheese making.
And someone told me that do they also eat the leftover from
Red Hen.
Lawson's? Oh, and
Oh,
Red Hen.
no, that's from Red Hen. So we get day old bread from Red Hen, so they get that bread. We sell a bunch of cheese to Lawson's. They've been so
I thought they were.
wonderful.
I thought they were the leftover from the.
No, I think I know other cheese or other pig farmers do that. We don't have enough pigs to be able to do that. Yeah.
And you have sheep as well.
Not anymore. No.
Oh, no.
We used to have sheep, like, years and years ago.
Yeah.
Werner,
I'm dating myself, huh?
It's okay. Werner, Sebastian's grandfather,
Yeah.
he was a big weaver and a spinner. He was in a spinning guild locally, helped to start one
really?
up. And he would weave a bunch of rugs. And so they had sheep for their fiber for his weaving and spinning. And then eventually they phased that out and focused more on dairy. I think that might have been around, like, when Martin and Kelly took over, but I'm not sure.
Interesting. And you guys also make salamis? Right?
Yes,
Those
we're
are
actually,
killer.
I know, we're actually pausing that program right now. Because
Okay.
I know, but we have...
Well, I'm going to have to go to fifth quarter then,
I
right?
know,
And, like,
which we should. We
Right?
should support fifth quarter. Because we raise pigs, as you mentioned. They get all the way from cheese making. They get a root around in the forest and, like, forage. And then they also get day-old bread and other stuff from around here. But we just don't have enough pigs to be able to, like, make salami consistently and also have, like, frozen sausages
Right.
and ribs and bacon in our farm store, and so we're prioritizing those things.
Okay, so that stuff's going to start going away?
Oh no, that's still going to
That's
be in
gonna
there.
be
It's
there,
just
but
the
just not the
salami.
salami,
Yeah, just
okay.
the salami. We're
Good, because I really like getting that
I
stuff.
know, it's so good. Way-fed pork, nothing
Yes.
like it.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, you know, you saw I came in the other day, and my kids were, like, insistent I send them
Yes.
Oma, like, every month or so.
Yeah.
They were, like, really, really into it. I send it all the way across the country. Can they buy it locally, or what's the extent of where you sell cheeses?
That's a good question. The majority of our distribution is within the Northeast. We have really awesome distributors out here that, you know, get down to restaurants in New York City and Boston and, like, kind of in this region.
Yep.
We do have a distributor that reaches out west, but one of the awesome things about having distributors and also the challenges is that once we send them cheese, we don't actually know who it ends up going to unless we, like, reach out to them multiple, hey, can you send me, like, who bought our cheese? And being a very small team of 8 people besides the owners between the farm, the creamery, and the farm store, we don't always have time to stay on top of that. But I think what we tend to recommend to people who may be outside of our reach is ask your local cheese shop if they can get the cheese, because chances are they might be able to, and they might not have even heard of our cheeses. So that's, like, really awesome way to support us. Also, if you don't live here and you can't find it locally, ask your local cheesemongers. Be like, have you heard of this cheese? It's amazing. You should get it. I would buy it. Or you can also buy direct from us online because we do e-commerce as well.
And I was telling you, I was down in Boston, and I was at this cheese shop right on Beacon Hill, and I walked in there, and I saw your cheeses there. I'm like, I know these people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is. It's really great to go out and see products from the Mad River Valley, you know, all over the place, you know, whether it be Lawson's or Flatbread or, you know, the cheese from here or, like, or whatever. I mean, it's really a special thing to see that our little place is like this hotbed for local food.
Yeah, It's definitely like I feel very grateful to be in this valley with all the food, all the awesome like businesses and things to do. It's
And
really special.
what's your background? How did you end up here?
So I grew up in California.
Yeah.
I went to school at UC Davis, studied community and regional development, and then from there went off and traveled and worked on farms, farmers markets, helped with some food businesses. I slowly worked my way down the coast and was living in San Diego before I moved out here. Started working at Yes Tomorrow, got an internship there, and was
There's
there
a lot
for...
of people get attracted here by Yes Tomorrow. It's funny.
It's either people come here because of Yes Tomorrow, or they have no idea that it's in this town. So I was there for like 2.5 years working with them, but really wanted to get back into food. And I was living like a 10-minute walk away when they were hiring for a farm store manager position. So I applied. I got it.
It's all about the
Here
timing,
I am.
right?
Yes, yeah. And I've been here 3.5 years now, working here.
Well, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You've been a real addition to to what's going on here, and it's a friendly face. And Dave, that's in there, is awesome. You guys have been a member of the Mad River Chamber. This whole show is like a chamber thing, and you guys have been members of the Chamber of Commerce for quite some time. What do you see the value of being a member of the chamber, and why is it important to you guys?
I think, especially for us being a very small farm-based business, it's really hard to, get out and connect with other business owners in the area. We frequent lots of businesses in the valley because we live here and we are part of this community. But as far as, the business community behind the scenes from the public facing, it's been really valuable for us to be able to connect with other business owners, whether they're also, retailers similar to us or lodging partners and things like that.
Yep.
Because we're, a lot of people don't know that we're here. They think that we're Stowe. We're the vonTrapps in Stowe. Or they, I've met some locals that come to the farm store. They're like, when did you guys open? I'm like, 3 and 4 years ago. They're like, really? I've never been in here. So it's nice to be able to, be part of a business community where we can, help to uplift each other's businesses and, help highlight those that are maybe off the beaten path of Route 100.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. I send so many people out here, mostly because it's a cool place to go see, and the cheese and everything. But it's such a beautiful drive.
Yeah,
totally. Do you have the nicest office in the world, or what?
I do. Well, the farm store has the best views. The office, we can see the cows sometimes.
Well, it's nice to see the cows, and if you look out here, the view and is just absolutely incredible, even on our kind of a cloudy day like today.
Yeah, we can get binoculars out and see how the skiing is in the winter at Sugarbush.
Are you a skier too?
More cross country than downhill.
That's a skier.
I love my winters.
Yeah,
being a California kid, people are like, "What? Why would you come here?" But it's much better than California.
And what's nice too is it's funny, you go to a lot of business things around here, and people still refer to me as the young guy. I'm like, really? I'm 60 years old. It's and we have my family has 5 kids, and none of them stayed around here, and it's really nice to see someone that's not eligible for Social Security actually moving here. So we appreciate you dragging down the median age.
There's more of us than you'd think.
Well, no, I think it is, and I think a lot of people are really appreciating the lifestyle here, and that it is a great place to live and work. It's challenging, but you can do it, right?
Yeah, totally. And I feel like I lived in Santa Cruz, California for a while, and I feel like that place is similar to here, where once you're in here, you're in here. And maybe it'll spit you out, or maybe you have to work a little bit to find your feet, but once you're here, you're here. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, well, we're glad that you're here, and we're glad that vonTrapps is here. Is there anything else I didn't ask about that you want to talk about? I do want to mention the hours.
Yes.
I'm looking over here. It's 12 to 5 on Wednesdays, 10 to 6 Friday and Saturday.
Yes, that's
so you
correct.
got to plan.
Yeah, you got to plan, but it's worth it. We're also at the farmers markets on Saturdays. Come on down.
Yeah.
And this summer we're also doing farm tours again. So
nice.
We did those last year on Saturdays, and it was so fun. Because this year we're doing them every other week essentially, and it's all on our website. You can sign up ahead of time. But like on the tour, you get to learn a lot about like how we operate as a farm. Like I talked a little bit about like regenerative and organic and real organic, and you'll get to learn more about that. You'll get to meet the cows. You'll get to like maybe even pet some calves, and then learn more about our cheese making, like the whole entire operation. And then you get to eat some cheese at the end too. So it's really fun. It's good for like kids of a certain age, like toddlers and babies need to be like, like handled by their parents a little bit, because, farms can be a little dangerous sometimes. But hi, good, how are you? But yeah, they're really fun. So, and they're also going to be on the same days for most of the season as the vonTrapp Greenhouse Open Garden Days. So
we're collaborating with vonTrapp.
Collaborating, yes.
Yeah, the vonTrapp flowers is amazing.
Yeah,
she really does such a great job.
Yeah.
And I love the little truck.
I know,
right?
It's so cute.
It's like the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
No, it is. Just like I said, I really encourage people to come down here, check out the store. It's Vermont, vonTrappFarmstead.com is the
yes.
Website.
Yep, and Instagram is at vonTrapp Farmstead.
Yeah, and you do a killer job on that.
Thanks. It's collaborative. There's a couple of us that do all the Instagram.
But I did like the one with the cows running across the street.
Best. It's so good.
Yeah, they are the stars of the show here. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining me on the tailgate. We'll have to come back again real soon. And if you haven't been to the Farmstead, check it out.
Yeah.
And you won't be disappointed by the view.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Eric.
It's a pleasure. Take care, folks.